topic today is talking about topics in management with big data, social media analytics, and insights programs. Um, I want to inform you guys that we're already finished a lot of the class. So at any time, share your thoughts and your understanding of class lesson. And I will be going beyond giving you just the regular zero point 0.5 points, but it's one extra bonus point. Or you can talk about who you are and human metrics, especially related to class, and you can get more. Or talk about your plan and class link to your life goals. That would be more bonus points. And of course, you share your research. That's the maximum points, 2 bonus points. And of course, if you share an article, you can share any type of article, but for the social media is great, but you should be learning how to use it, especially with big data and analytics tools. So uh, this is sharing some social media and how it is developing over time. If there's any questions at any time, feel free to speak out. Again, we are going through our class information, the current topics in management. Everybody should be aware, every class, we have the classroom, and then there's the PDS posts. Today, we're teaching this stuff. These are the PPTs that I'm going to be going through. And here are a variety of YouTube social media, which is the old style of social media that I'm going to start showing you. What we see here at the top is videos of two guys in a truck driving through a country road, and they see some car stopped on the side of the road. And so obviously these two guys driving have big happy faces on their face, big smiles, because they see some sexy looking person over top of a car that looks broken down. And so the guys are talking about, are we going to stop? But then he drives around it. And the passenger says, what are you doing? Are you crazy? We should stop. She's beautiful. And he says, have you ever seen a broken down Toyota? And it's actually showing that that sexy person was actually a serial killer that was disguised to attract people to stop in Latin America, where they would kill anybody that stopped over. Um, does this relate to anybody? Have any of you been in an area like Latin America, or in places where you could be driving outside of major cities and you have a common knowledge that you shouldn't stop because it's dangerous? I have. I've lived in South America for a while, and at night time, even in the city, we wouldn't even stop at a red light. It would be too dangerous. Outside of a city, if you see a car, even if it's a sexy person in a car, you would not stop because it's probably some fake type of system trying to get you to stop, and then they would take all of your money, maybe kill you. I have had friends that have seen people killed this way. I actually left Latin America and came to Korea after getting too many bullet holes in my car going forward. So this YouTube ad is not connecting with Korean people because Korean people don't know about how it's dangerous to stop outside the main cities. Korean people don't really understand the idea of carjacking or people shooting at you or poor people not having money doing anything to try to take it from you. But in Latin America, almost everybody is aware of that. So this culture is a YouTube video designed and adapted for Latin America. Next, another YouTube video is this one. So this is showing a Korean style video, and the main points are right here. I'm going to show this to you guys. Then I would like one of you to try to teach this and teach how it reflects Korean culture. Like I said, this video reflects Latin American culture For example, having carjackings and people at the side of the road, knowing you should never stop out in the middle of nowhere. This type of area looks beautiful, but it can be very dangerous. What is this showing about Korean culture? Is that all clear? Malik, did you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so you are a marketing specialist. I would hope to hear you try to talk about what it's showing here. Let's go on and talk about this now.
직접 확인하지 않고는 믿기 힘든 29.2의 진실. 이 정도면 대중교통비에 도전할 만하지 않을까? 프리우스의 놀라운 능력 직접 확인해보세요. 프리우스 테스트 드라이빙 실시. 토요타에 가자.
Okay, so that video is finished. Any comments? Who can try to understand what was said in that video? Let's go through some of these details. Anybody? So we have a bunch of people that have gone through. Hyunakdo, do you have any comments? Are you here today, Hyunakdo? Maybe not. What about Yebin? Are you here?
Professor?
Yes.
May I explain for foreign students since those are Korean?
Sure. I'm not trying to focus on teaching cultural details. What I'm trying to focus on is how social media is now getting old. And the first social media was just anything posted, like a cat playing a piano. But increasingly, like this video that I'm going to be showing is talking about how social media is modified for you. And this video from over 10 years ago is talking about how videos are
직접
posted.
확인하지 않고는 믿기 힘든
Like this one from 10 years ago does reflect Korean culture. So what do you think this reflects Korean culture? How do you think this reflects Korean culture? Go ahead.
No. It does not mean the culture.
Oh, okay. Just share whatever you think is important related to this.
Also, what I want to say is that I want to explain for foreign students what this video means, since this language is Korean, so they cannot understand what this means. What this video means.
Sure, go ahead.
Also, this video means that the fuel efficiency of this Toyota car is very high, so it is better to ride this car rather than using other public transportation to save money.
Okay. There are millions of videos out there. I appreciate you guys starting to talk about this. I want you guys to share your research files and share anything that you help your development and helps class development, especially your research and some sort of article. So the more you can, the more points you get. Your evaluations have been emailed to each and every one of you. Can help make incredible things happen. So this is data online that can identify what is your personality type, what is your job type, what are your dating types, and even what is your learning types, things like that. So again, here is an evaluation of somebody that went through earlier. I suggested when we first started talking about MBTL, this idea that I'm asking you about so far. If anybody has gone through it, this is a report that you could do, and there's an evaluation of it. So some students have gone through and they've identified you should be able to learn how to assess your personal and professional skills required to achieve strategic goals. And to do that, you can go and identify your basic human metrics details, your typology test, or your SWOT analysis. And there's extra additional things like how you learn. If you understand how you learn, for example, there's the VARC model. There's some people are visual learners, some people are audio learners, some people are reading learners or kinetic learners. And then there's many other types of learning styles like the Mumford and Cole. Next, be able to conduct a skills audit to identify what is your learning style. So not only are we teaching many different topics in class, as you can see, but what I want you guys to do is to go beyond this stuff. You can learn this stuff before class. You can watch these videos of what we're talking about online. These are the videos of you guys teaching before. Let's take a look at just a couple of seconds of this.
So, hello everyone. Today with Laura, Vincent, Gukario, and I, we are going to talk about following topic: Bitcoin, DM, Ethereum, and Cardano. Which one could be the next digital cryptocurrency?
Great. So we had that presentation. It was an awesome presentation. Thank you very much, Eloise, Laura, Vincent, and Golcano. Have any of you gone back and watched this video that is in the CTL? No. Why I'm asking about that is, again, although I have the PhD and I can teach, you will benefit much more if you are proactive and learn on your own and start evaluating anything of interest to you verbally, out loud, in class, and I will comment on it. This presentation we had was a great presentation, but Eloise, did you get a lot of feedback from your classmates? Can you talk about that?
No.
No.
That's all? No.
Exactly. So I'm rewarding your classmates by showing how they can do that. So, Laura, what about you? Is there something that you would like to hear from your classmates about what you've done?
I just would like to know if everybody understood what we were telling about, if everything was clear. And...
Good, of course, the basics. This stuff you should be asking while you're presenting. If I didn't go back and review this, if I didn't record this, if I didn't bring it up today, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't have very much value. Why did you do your presentation? Vincent, did you see the very detailed evaluation that I wrote down for your presentation?
No.
Did you check your email?
Oh.
No. Okay. Do you want the evaluation from me?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So I already have emailed the evaluation to you guys.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna check it. So
stay in class beyond our regular class scheduled time, and I can talk more about it. That would be fine. But you should also get evaluation from your classmates. Can you give a question to any one of your classmates about this? Has anybody given comments or evaluations about this? I know in Korean culture, you might prefer to stay quiet, but I'm not teaching Korean culture. I'm teaching international management culture. So is there anybody that has evaluated this? Going once, going twice. I believe, Jung-woo So, are you still here? Maybe not. That group with Hyunak Do, but Hyunak Do is not in class today. They did an evaluation related to this, and it's online. Let's go on to the next one. Oh, it's still talking about your stuff. So, okay, this is the next presentation. Would somebody, you guys can see what I'm starting to talk about. Whose presentation is this? Do you guys remember?
Yes, this is Emma and Elodie. They are from our school.
Sorry, they're from where?
Paris.
Okay, great. Did you get my email with the evaluation details? Did you read the email that was sent to you? Is Emma here or Elodie here? It looks like, oh, they're not here in class. Who was that was just speaking? Was that Laura?
Yes, that was me.
Okay, so you're presenting almost the same topic.
Yes.
So since you're here, did you review the evaluation and the tips for development that I shared already?
I know I was writing down some notice for the group and giving a mark, but I don't remember doing something else.
Okay. I want to help all of you develop to your fullest. We can do the basics in class, no problem. If you don't even show up, no problem. But if you do want to do more, I open the doors fully to doing more. Since almost a third to half of the class talked about Bitcoin and details like that, I'd like to show you a few other things. This is talking about online information education, the 25 poorest countries in the world. So have any of you been to any of these countries? Anybody other than me? Going once, going twice? No? Have any
I can see the countries, Professor. I don't see well what's written, so.
Up at the top. So it says Burundi, South Sudan, Malawi. For example, it's also saying in Burundi, the typical person is earning $264 per year. And in South Sudan, they're earning $303 per year. Up to Mozambique, Democratic Republic of Congo, Central African Republic, Afghanistan, Madagascar, Sierra Leone, Niger, Eritrea, Chad, Yemen, Liberia, Togo, Haiti. Why am I talking about that? Because you guys can learn anything online from social media. Some of the people that are here are doing very well in social media, and they're getting millions of dollars beyond what's normal. I encourage you guys to not only learn how to work with social media and big data to understand your customers, but also learn how to work internationally. You could hire any of these people, like I say, for as little as $264 for a year, and you have somebody working for you for a full year to help you. Why should we care? Every one of you, you have to do a report. You should be aware that people in Hete, they speak English, and they may be able to edit your paper or help you research your paper, or you can tell them what you need to do, and they can help you. $700 for a whole year's work, or divide it by 12 months, less than $100 per whole month. Get somebody to help you develop your expertise. I'm serious about that. Have any of you hired somebody online? Going once? No? Nobody. Please try. You should. I'm not just promoting the poorest countries, but anywhere. Start working with other people online, because what we're teaching online, managing topics in management is that you need to understand the old way of living, the old way of working doesn't exist anymore. The old way of just going to a university classroom, listening to one person talk at the front of the class, that's not smart anymore. How many people can just continue that sentence? Why is a classroom with one person lecturing, what is good about it and what is bad about it? Anybody in class? Adrian, would you like to comment on that? Or Arthur, would you like to comment on that?
Yes, obviously, like I think like all students might have to develop themselves. But actually, in our schools, in France, and I think pretty much everywhere in the world before the pandemic, we kind of all have been invested in some different projects. So that that's a good beginning for our future life. And like yeah, we know like time has changed, but like for these kinds of countries, uh I think like for me, like personally, it's not really interesting because that's not our culture and everything. So I don't really believe that uh it would be really efficient or like an
So
about it.
you don't think it would be efficient to hire somebody online to help you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Then why do every 100% of the most successful people in the world hire other people?
Oh no, but like I mean like yeah, obviously, people from like that we're hiring are really important. But like I mean like for this map and people from these countries, like I know that my dad, which is working with like African countries since like maybe 10 years, he told me they like usually, not for everyone, but usually they are really less advanced than us, and that might be really complicated to work with them, because their studies are not that developed, and that's why he's like kind of like he doesn't really like to work with them for that reason. That's really complicated apparently. So I don't know for myself, but that's why he told me.
Okay, that's a fair point. If you are just trying to hire the cheapest person in the world, you may get the cheapest quality results. But my point is, every country has good people and bad people, and the average pay is average here. I hire people internationally, and I don't just pay what is listed here. There are other ways to do things. And so every one of you, you have to have 10 different references in your paper, and you need to write your paper. Your paper needs to be good. You could go and find it yourself, or you could hire somebody from Hete or um, uh, Tajikistan or Mali, Zimbabwe to research and find articles for you, to develop details for you. The more you learn to manage other people, the more you learn to delegate to other people, the more successful you will be. And because you guys are young and you don't have experience, this is a good place to start. Don't spend thousands of dollars hiring a very, very expensive person and then learn how to manage. You can start by learning how to manage for a cup of coffee and the cost of a cup of coffee. And then after you get experience, start hiring people from other parts of the world. The other thing I'm trying to teach is online with social media, you guys are connected to these people all the time. And even if they are super poor, what is $264 divided by 365 days per year? Like the cost is super cheap to have somebody working for a full day. Um, you it's shocking. So you can work online with this. Have go Gulkano, do you know much about any of these
Tajikistan?
countries?
I know about Tajikistan, Afghanistan, because we are bordered. We are near
Great.
her in Uzbekistan.
Can you give a couple of comments about these?
Yes, of course. I just want to give. I think in each country there is a very good specialist. If I want to hire one person who works very good, who creates a websites, so I can hire from that maybe Tajikistan and find a very special specialist from Tajikistan, and I can pay $500, not 5,000 won. Because
for example, I'm not sure what you're saying about paying $500 versus 5,000 won. Can you explain that? I see here in Afghanistan, you could hire somebody for a whole year to work for you every day, for a whole year, and that's $499. That's $500 for a whole year. I want to hire people now. If any of you want to get an extra part-time job, I'm looking for somebody that can help me develop some of the papers that I've developed, some of the papers that students have developed. If you guys develop your papers well, I will hire people to help you develop that because it will help you. And I also have a grant that may be coming in. That grant fund is not my money. It's other basically free money that I can use to hire people. So I'm going to be hiring people to help develop those papers. More specifically, every one of you needs to develop some sort of research project. I will help you. Is there anybody here that is interested in developing your research project beyond the class, or is everybody just focused on class alone? Everybody's just focused on the class, not how it relates to your life. Okay. So what I'm going to be hiring people for is if they have very advanced statistics, very advanced statistics skills for factor loading, factor analysis, and if they have good English skills to help develop your papers. Next, let's talk a little bit more about your papers. Some of you are talking about artificial intelligence. And so if you talk about these type of things, it will help your life. Every one of you should learn about how to manage social media. Every one of you should learn about how to manage big data and analytics of social media. And increasingly, it is getting intertwined with artificial intelligence. So here we see with healthcare, this website is talking about some of the best healthcare AI applications is Caption Health or Recursion or Olive, or for finance and insurance, there's Zesty or Trackable. Anybody know about a AI company called Cambridge Analytica? Nobody knows about Cambridge Analytica?
I think I already heard about it.
Okay, what do you think you heard about it?
It's an advice and audit company, one of the best in the world, I think. I'm not sure, but.
Okay, so we're Gregoire, could you remind me to come back and talk about Cambridge Analytica
At the end of this
in
class?
about 2 minutes?
Yeah, of course.
Not after class, but just in a very quick. So I'm just going to talk about what else is going on in the world and then why some of these companies, like what I'm showing here, you should be interacting with because it can change your life and make your life better. So what is this? What am I showing here? This is showing what? Any comments? Can somebody comment on this? Julie, can you hear me?
Isn't it
Coronavirus?
Yes, this is coronavirus. Good. And give a couple more comments. Why is it important to your life? Why is it important to our class? Why would I be talking about it now? What is interesting related to this? Again, I want you guys to talk more than me. So please start talking so I can shut up. What do you see here? What do you notice here?
USA in number 1 and India is second. You can see.
Okay. USA is number 1. Keep going.
Yes.
Somebody else. I don't know who just said that, but how is, I think Ulugbek, you said you're on a bus. What about Laura? Can you comment on this?
I don't really see which are on the back, on the downside of the website. I don't see. I see the first is in USA, India, Brazil, but after I cannot read.
Oh, okay. In general, it is saying USA has the most cases, 32.8 million cases. And the idea of new cases each day, every 24 hours, India has more than 320,000 new cases every 24 hours. More than 667,000 new cases each day, just going up in the world. So coronavirus, why do we care? We care because maybe our loved ones are getting sick, or maybe we can get sick. Some of us are going through quarantine, yes. But more importantly, this is making everybody change. This is making everybody live online. This is making everybody start to accept that we have to live online. Not just we can live online, but we have to. Education is online. So don't just think of the old-fashioned teaching style. Now realize the danger. For example, this says the number of new deaths for every 1 million people, or the number of new cases for every 1 million people. It's getting pretty crazy, this information. Let's go on to the next point. Almost half of our class talked about this, Bitcoin. So can we get a recap? What is the price of Bitcoin and what was the kimchi premium? Gregoire, yes, you have your hand up.
So you were talking about Cambridge Analytica before?
Oh, okay, yes. So the idea of Bitcoin, I'll finish this quickly and then go to that. Bitcoin is bought and sold online and anywhere around the world. The price that you can buy it for almost anywhere in the world is very different than the price in some countries. For example, in Korea, for the last 3 weeks, there was up to a 20% premium. If you buy Bitcoin, where are you from, Gregoire? You're from France?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so if you have bought Bitcoin from any place or any person in France and you sell it in Korea, you could get almost a $10,000 profit. It was up to beyond that. This website talks a little bit about that. For Bitcoin, the US dollar, it's saying the price for Bitcoin in US dollar and the price for the Korean money. So $53,000 for Bitcoin versus 63 million. This is almost equal now, but last week there was 20% markup, 20% profit. So any one of you that bought this and sold it in Korea could have had $10,000 profit just for buying one and selling one. I am one that I would buy it from you. And anybody wanting to sell it, I'm not going to be paying the Korean premium, but I encourage you to learn about that stuff.
A Mexican mom doesn't give statistics. She doesn't give facts. She'll just give examples.
There's one example just in Facebook. So we have our Facebook group, our Facebook site that is, it could be a huge problem. Absolutely. Yes. So there was a problem. For example, some people complained so much that Facebook actually had to go to court, and Facebook actually got a penalty, but you guys still know Facebook is still operating. So if Facebook allows people to use all of your data to learn everything about you, but they're still operating, what do you think about that? What if we find out Facebook or Google is still doing that now? How would you feel, Laura? How would you feel? Facebook, they had your information, they gave it to somebody else, they were already fined, but have you noticed Facebook changed recently?
No, I don't think Facebook changed, but I mean, if I'm going on Facebook, I know that my informations are going to be like collected, but there's just like this kind of organization. They're just taking the information without like that I could know it. If I'm like having an account on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever I want, I mean, I have a little ID. They are going to collect my information, but this kind of organization, no.
Oh, okay. What do you think is reasonable to manage this? What is a better way to manage this? How much do you think, if you were the judge, how much would you fine Facebook for allowing this to happen?
I don't know. I think there's like sadly nothing to do. Information is like just too much important nowadays, and that's just a fight. Like,
absolutely. Anybody here in class, do you know how much information is valuable? Anybody?
Extremely expensive to have information of customers.
Well, extremely expensive? Yes and no. That's what I'd like to really talk about today. And at the same time, what are the values? The idea of the fine for Facebook allowing this to happen. Let's talk about that, and then we'll go into the cost of managing information. Anybody know or want to guess how much Facebook was, what happened when the judge found Facebook gave information out and they used it? But please don't ask me if you can. I want everybody to be talking, so I stop talking. I want to guide you.
Yes, Facebook has stolen our data, like we are in a relationship, or I mean everything, our name, our location, everything. But I think these are not helpful for us, but I think these are helpful for them. Even they hack the location, what we searching, what we order in online. So I think maybe these things, every single things will be available in our location. If we find a laptop in online or mobile in online, then they will distribute these things in this location if people order these things. So just like that. So I think it's a kind of helpful, but I think stolen data is not good things. Maybe they can misuse. Sometimes the political, they distribute this data to political leaders for their political agenda.
Yes, Donald Trump is not unique. He is just one of many, many people that have paid money to use this information. For example, Facebook was checked and they were found guilty of allowing your information to go to other people. And they were actually found guilty and they were fined. How much? Anybody want to guess? Start saying any number. Adrian, Arthur, Louise, just say any number. What do you think Facebook was fined?
Like probably $200 million. Like I think, like from what I know from the company,
good, $200 million. Good starting guess. Let's get higher, much higher. Vincent, what's a higher guess? Or anybody in class, just yell out a higher guess.
5 billion.
$5 billion. Yes, Facebook was fined $5 billion for this actual incident. But as we just said, nothing changed. They're still operating. They're still hugely popular. A lot of people used to say that the oil and gas industry was the most valuable industry in the world, but information is much more valuable. Google managing information is crazy valuable. You should all be aware that everything you type on your smartphone, everything you type on your computer, everything you say, and wherever you walk around with a smartphone, that stuff can be tracked. They know where you are. They know what you're doing. They know what you're buying. They know what you're liking and what you're not liking, if they're interested. So, number one, use this information. I'm showing that don't just wait quietly in a classroom for some old guy to talk. Start developing your expertise now. Learn on your own now. Share some of this information now. Develop your skills and start contacting a company with your results, your specialization. Write something that could be helpful for them. Add it to your resume, and I will help you develop it even beyond class. Is there anybody that is worried about publishing your class information? Anybody want to keep what we say in class secret or quiet? Going once? No? Nobody really cares about that? Okay. So I can develop every one of your details. You should be able to contact somebody. Speak up. Start specializing details now. What is valuable? What could you share around you? Again, this stuff, this idea of if you share any article, you can get 2 points. If you share your research, you can get 2 points, bonus points. If you help a classmate, I have said at the beginning of the semester, the maximum you can get each week is 2 points. But I think this should be even more than that. Is anybody worried about their grade in this class? Anybody want a lot more bonus points? So start sharing this information. All of these things here, these are articles that you could share, talk about, and get 2 points for that. Anybody have an article or information related to social media that you'd like to share now or today? No? Okay. The idea is if you do share that stuff, it will help quite a lot. You should be aware of the times we're living in. We're surrounded by the internet. We're surrounded by online details at any time. Big data is the unprecedented growth and convergence of social device equipment, corporate data. Companies get lost without a strategy. You should have a strategy. You should have a plan. You should have some idea of how you are going to develop yourself and your future. There's instant access to data, and with it, there's instant insight. Companies can react quickly to you, act on these emerging trends. Where did this stuff start? Any idea when this stuff started or how this stuff started? It generally started in 1999. Why? Because we had the year 2K problem. In the year 1990, all of our data was saved as 9.0. 1991, it was saved as 9.1. 1995, it was saved as 9.5. It went up to 1999, saved as file 9.9, and people were worried. Soon as it goes around past 9.9 to 0.0, we thought all of our data was going to get lost and deleted, and so people started investing crazy into this information management. Big companies like Oracle or SAP, they developed $3 million machines to be able to identify this stuff and manage big data. And almost all big companies, all these big multinational companies are using that stuff now. But at the same time, Google and Facebook, they learned quickly after that this information's out there for free anyway. So you should be aware that big data can be used in retail, consulting, air transportation, for almost any area. There's a crazy amount of big data out there. This is showing the companies from 2012 and how these companies are growing like crazy. It's not just oil and gas anymore. In 2021, anybody know what is the most valuable company in the world? Most valuable company in the world now. Sorry?
Amazon?
No, not Amazon. It's actually Apple. Apple is worth $2.3 trillion. It's crazy how big some of these companies are. And this was just 10 years ago. I'm showing very, very big numbers, but in 10 years, it's growing like crazy. And this idea of the tech life cycle, it's changing really, really fast. Artificial intelligence came out quite a long time ago. The idea of quantum computers came out a long time ago. Virtual assistants. I talked to you about how you should hire somebody online, learn how to work with other people, learn how to delegate, learn how to learn with machine learning and social media analytics. All of that stuff is very, very important. Then you can join online classes or online groups to learn more about it. You should share this information and find somebody else that's sharing this to learn from. Work smart, leverage technology. Harvard used to say this is the smartest way to use Facebook, but this is wrong. This is just how the simple customers, the sheep, use Facebook. Just using Facebook to post a photo or provide some information, that usually just gets circulated to your mom or your best friends. It's not really helping you really grow, or it's used by the experts to hack in and learn more about you. Same thing for Google Plus. All of this information has been available for a long time, but it is free now. The idea of, in each country, there are many different companies online using social media. How you should be learning to use information is the biggest companies, as I said, MIS systems, ERP systems, Oracle, or SAP, or Microsoft Dynamics. Those were the biggest, but it has changed. Now we're talking about social media analytics, which are free programs. If you don't know what they are, I can teach you if you have questions, or you can learn online for free. edX is the MIT classes online, which are usually very good. And there's the Harvard classes online, which are, I think, all right. And Allison is an online learning program. They're making MOOCs where you can learn about anything online. You should be learning that stuff at the same time as you learn about your area. For example, the diploma in psychology, how people think, how people work, or you can get a free diploma in business or management, entrepreneurship. All of that stuff is online for free. This is showing examples. In Allison, you can learn about almost anything from finance to engineering to management, information technology, lots of details. Khan Academy started as just somebody like a student sharing a video, but other people saw his YouTube videos. Other people started loving his videos. He started sharing more and more and more. And now he's had people walk up to him and just give him donations because his videos are so good and educational. He's had millions of dollars in investment just by making and sharing details. So why am I talking about that? You guys should promote yourselves, and you could do it with the class projects. Learn about social media, learn about social media analytics, and learn how you can learn the company that you want to work with, what they want, and make something for them. Make your presentation, your final class project for them. Put that into a YouTube video and understand the details. Share that with them. That would be good.